for joining us for today's Wreaths Across America ceremony. Out of respect, I ask that you please mute your cell phones and other devices during the duration of the ceremony, but please feel free to take photos or videos as you so choose. I would like you to request for those of you who are here as volunteers to help place wreaths on grave sites to allow about 20 to 30 minutes after the conclusion of the ceremony for family members of those who are interred here at Pikes Peak National Cemetery to place a wreath on their loved one's gravesite. Please stand while we post the colors. Color guard, post the colors. Retired Chief Master Sergeant Pete Tetley will now lead us in prayer.
As we bow our heads in prayer on this beautiful day in Colorado, all wise and merciful God, we dedicate ourselves to you and country. As our forefathers determined to build an island of freedom in a world of tyranny, to establish a republic which would respect the human dignity of every individual, may we today and always be determined to share this liberty and respect for men everywhere. Help us, O God, O Lord, not to be intimidated, swayed, or thwarted in our purpose by either the rattling of sabers of brutal tyrants or by the apathy and indifference of those at home. May we ever be vigilant to keep the fountainhead of freedom open, that its waters may flow down through the earth and quench the thirst of those who starve for liberty. May we always walk in our beloved land uprightly, and may we dispel wickedness by fostering righteousness. May we dissipate discord and misunderstanding with truth and brotherly love. May we combat the devastating premises of godless ideology. Help us to destroy their blighting presence in our own land by reflecting the light of your love and wisdom and in courage now and forever. You once told the prophet Isaiah that those who hope in you would have the wings of angels. Things are getting a little down, Lord, and we all need those wings, and others do too. And with them, we can never completely fall. And the world stands to gain by the presidents I now seek for all of us. Amen.
Please welcome to the stage Miss Aliyah Dashner, who will be singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance by the Cub Scout Patch 224, Boy Scout Troop 199, and Boy Scout Troop 1199.
Scout attention! Audience attention! Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. Scouts, about face. Scouts, salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag.
Now for our opening remarks, I would like to introduce the City of Colorado Springs Senior Advisor for Government and Military Engagement, Ms. Sally Clark. Miss Sally Clark is a proud Navy wife. She has served as a Colorado Springs council member, El Paso County Commissioner, presidential appointee, as a federal agency state director for Colorado, and a longtime small business owner. She currently serves on the Military Affairs Council for the Chamber of Economic Development Corporation, and she facilitates the Military Spouses Community Coalition through the city of Colorado Springs. Please welcome Ms. Sally Clark.
Thank you, Dustin, and thank you to all of you who are here this morning on this beautiful Colorado morning. On behalf of Mayor Yemi Mobilati and the city of Colorado Springs, I'd like to thank all of you for attending this morning to this important event to recognize those who served our nation and are here in memory at the Pikes Peak National Cemetery. Right now, at over 100 national cemeteries and countless private cemeteries, Americans are gathered to show honor and respect to our nation's fallen heroes. Pikes Peak National Cemetery has been open for just over 6 years and has completed over 6,150 interments. In September of 2024, Pikes Peak National Cemetery started an expansion project to add additional in-ground cremation grave sites. In November of 2024, PPNC opened a new burial option as part of a green burial pilot program. The green burial section consists of 152 grave sites that will accommodate natural burials and will have a distinct appearance from traditional national cemetery grave sites. PPNC should meet the needs of 95,000 veterans over the next 100 years. Burial benefits are underutilized, and only about 22% of eligible veterans utilize those benefits. 16% in national cemeteries and 6% in state and tribal cemeteries. PPNC has worked with the City of Colorado Springs, El Paso County, and Mount Carmel Veterans Center to raise awareness of veterans' burial benefits. We are a proud military community with 1/3 of our region's total population military veterans, active duty, and families. This sacred place embodies our love and appreciation for our service members, whether Air Force, Army, Space Force, Navy, Marines, or Coast Guard. We honor you and we see you and honor the fallen. May God bless this resting place in remembrance of your sacrifices.
Thank you, Ms. Clark, for your opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest speaker today will be Mr. Bob McLaughlin, U.S. Army Colonel retired and Executive Director of Mount Carmel Veterans Service Center. Please welcome Bob McLaughlin.
Thanks, Dustin. I'm honored to be here today, to be with you as we gather as a community to remember the fallen, honor those who serve, and teach the next generation the values of freedom. Lee Greenwood said it best in the lyrics of God Bless the USA when he sung, "I am proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died who gave that right to me." We must never forget the importance of service and sacrifice and strive to ensure that we continue to guarantee our way of life is preserved for generations to come. President Kennedy said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. You are certainly expressing gratitude through your actions today. Right now, across the country, in more than 1,100 memorial sites like this one, grateful Americans gather as we are doing. We are reminded that freedom isn't free, and that we are the land of the free because of the brave. Lying here before us and in ceremonies throughout our nation are men and women who gave their lives so that we can live in freedom without fear. We can worship as we see fit. We can raise our children to believe as we do. We can travel from end to end of this country without permission to go. We are free to vote for whomever we feel we should be in government office without explanation. We have the right to succeed, and we have the right to fail at whatever endeavor we want. Our country was founded on the ideals of freedom, justice, and equality. Our nation stands as a shiny beacon of liberty and freedom to the world. We thank those who gave their lives to keep us free. We shall not forget you. We shall remember. President Truman reinforced that when he said, "Our debt to heroic men and valiant women in service to our country can never be repaid. They have earned our undying gratitude. America will never forget their sacrifice." Today, many of you here are veterans of wars and conflicts that America has fought throughout the world to protect the innocent and the oppressed. This nation has always been the first to stand up for freedom of people around the world. Many of you here today have answered the call to serve our country well, and we are here to say thank you, and we are proud to know you. Still, our brothers and sisters continue to answer the call as we gather here. They are around the globe serving and sacrificing in all branches of service. They represent the best of our nation, and for that, we are grateful. Quoting the 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, "Veterans know better than anyone else the price of freedom, for they suffered the scars of war. We can offer them no better tribute than protect what they have won for us. This is our duty. They have never let America down. We will not let them down." I have had the honor to serve alongside great Americans, men and women, whether Iraq, Afghanistan, the Balkans, and the Horn of Africa. I have seen their commitment and sacrifice, some the ultimate sacrifice. Yet they continue to go and are honored to serve. And in the words of our warrior ethos, I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. Our actions today exemplify the fourth commitment as we honor our fallen comrades. This day is clearly an example of the commitment that Reagan spoke about when he said freedom is not free. I am confident that our brave citizens will continue to serve and continue to make this nation great. Because according to Reagan, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed to them to do the same. Or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children's children what it was once like in the United States where men were free. Our fallen comrades would be proud of us today because we are showing a united front of gratitude and respect across our country as we remember, honor, and teach. It is so important. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest speaker today will be Warrant Officer Angelica Mendoza, U.S. Marine Corps. Warrant Officer Angelica Mendoza enlisted on January 19th, 2016, and attended Distribution Management Specialist Training. Mendoza was meritoriously promoted 3 times, reaching the rank of Staff Sergeant. In January of 2024, Warrant Officer Mendoza reported to Warrant Officer Basic Course at Camp Barrett, Virginia, and in February 2024, appointed to the rank of Warrant Officer. Please welcome Angelica Mendoza.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin, I would just like to take a brief moment of silence to honor those who are no longer here with us today. Thank you. What a blessed day here in beautiful Colorado Springs. We gather at this sacred place, united in remembrance and respect for the men and women who have served our country with honor. We are here not only to place wreaths upon their graves, but to pause, reflect, and renew our commitment to living lives of purpose, lives worthy of the sacrifices they made. Can we just give a round of applause to all the volunteers for putting this phenomenal event together? I know it was no easy feat throughout the year and early this morning. I know last night as well too. There is truly so much behind the scenes that no one sees. Your hard work is appreciated not by just the veterans and their families, but by the city. So thank you. I am so humbled to be a guest speaker today. I grew up here in Fountain and Aurora. I graduated from Whitefield High School, and at 21 years old, I felt compelled to earn the coveted title of United States Marine. I walked straight into the Marine recruiting station over at the Citadel Mall, and 1 month later, I shipped out to stand on the legendary yellow footprint at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, South Carolina. My dad actually asked me why Marines, and I just told him go hard or go home. Colorado Springs is my home. Since I've been in the Marine Corps, every single Christmas, I've been home with my family, with the exception of one, which was 2020. Like everyone else, COVID really forced a new outlook on life. I was deployed in the Middle East in a country called Bahrain. While surrounded by troops who also could not be home, we really leaned in on one another. It's what our family away from family. In that environment, you really start to address what truly matters. Just like this year's theme is Live with Purpose, during my time deployed, I gave a lot of thought about what is my purpose. I'd already earned the coveted title of Marine, so what's next? Am I missing something? As I continue to navigate my life, my answers remain the same. It's to be a part of an amazing organization, to leave a small impact on every single person I meet, and to honor my amazing family. As we look around, we all have one thing in common. We all have a time of expiration. Our veterans, those who lie here, and those who have passed on elsewhere, are the true exemplars of living with purpose. They gave their time, their strength, and often their lives to protect the freedoms we hold dear. They understood that life is most meaningful when it is dedicated to something greater than oneself. I ask myself often, am I living a life that aligns with that purpose? It is a reminder that every day we have the power to shape our own legacies, just as the veterans we honor today have shaped ours through their sacrifice. It's not about the gravestone and the dates on it. It's about the lives lived in between. Before coming here, I've asked my Marines and sailors what their purpose is, and they all have varying and honorable answers. So I challenge everyone here to take that moment and stare at those beautifully constructed mountains and determine what is that purpose. Is it being a strong pillar of your family? Is it giving back to the community? Is it being a kind person in a room? Or teaching our future generation? Whatever it may be, hold true to it. I'll leave you with a parting analogy, and that's trekking Pikes Peak. As we stand here in the shadow of Pikes Peak, we're reminded of the beauty and challenge of life. Climbing a mountain like Pikes Peak is much like living with purpose. The summit represents the end, our final moments. But the real story lies in the journey. Every step we take, every decision we make, and every person we touch along the way. The summit may be the goal, but the memories, growth, and connections happen on the trail. When I reflect on this, I think about how life's journey shapes us more than the final destination. And as we navigate the twists, the turns, and steep inclines, we're given opportunities to live lives with purpose, just as today reminds us. Life is finite. It is so precious. In their service, our veterans have taught us the meaning of sacrifice. Many give their lives, some left families behind, and far too never return home. Yet, their actions were driven by a deep sense of commitment to protecting the freedom we so often take for granted. So do not get fixated on the end state. It's the journey and the trials and tribulations where you derive satisfaction and impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mendoza. We are now going to begin the wreath laying process. Color guard and honor guard will present arms at the laying of each wreath. Now, Specialist Melissa Dashner will lay a remembrance wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Army. Sergeant Jennifer McDonald will lay a remembrance wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Marine Corps. Petty Officer Second Class Jacqueline Henderson will lay a remembrance wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Navy. Lieutenant Colonel Retired Kathy Peterson will lay a remembrance wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Air Force. Specialist Taylor Gast will lay a remembrance wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Space Force. Petty Officer Retired Mike Westcott will lay a remembrance wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Coast Guard. U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Larry Peterson will lay a remembrance wreath in memory of those who served and are serving in the United States Merchant Marines. U.S. Army First Lieutenant Rosie Dutton will lay a remembrance wreath in honor of the 93,129 United States service members from all branches of this service. Air Force Master Sergeant Retired John Macy and Air Force Master Sergeant Retired Jim Davis will lay a remembrance wreath to represent all veteran service organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in a moment of silence to remember the fallen, the prisoners of war, the missing in action, and to honor those who have served and are serving in this great nation's armed services. Now, I ask everyone to stand for the rifle volley and the playing of cast. Honor Guard retired the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please remain standing for the closing prayer.
As we close out this wonderful celebration of the love of the heroes that we have that are laid to rest here. After 6, almost 7 years of doing this as a chaplain of this wonderful cemetery for heroes, reminds me of a youth in my day when I was 30 in France, where I was an honor guard there. I've gone full swing. I'm not 30 anymore. With the honor, the privilege of serving my veterans, both in service for 28 years, as one of the founders of this cemetery, which took us 23 years to build, and one of the honored legacies of the Colonel Victor Fernandez, this was his legacy and his dream was to honor the veterans that have passed. I am so honored to be at least speaking on his behalf and bringing this dedication and final prayer that we can remember to do this more often, to visit your heroes, your honored warriors. And with our Marine warrior said earlier, we are in such good hands with the youth of America. Victor would have been proud to hear what she had to say, and I'm sure he's listening high above the clouds. As I close, God knows best. Our Father knows what's best for us. We always want the sunshine, but He knows there must be a little rain now and then. We love the sound of laughter, the merriment of the cheers, but our hearts would lose their tenderness if we never shed a tear. Our Father tests us often with suffering, and with sorrow He tests us not to punish us, but to help us tomorrow. For growing trees, for strengthening when they need to withstand the storm, and the sharp cut of the chisel, which gives the marble grace and form. God never hurts us needlessly, and He never wastes our pain. For every loss He sends us is followed by a rich gain. And when we count our blessings that God has so freely sent, you will find no cause for murmuring in time to lament. For our Father loves His children. Each and every one of you are His children. And to Him all things are plain. So wherever we are troubled and when everything goes wrong, it's just God working in us to make our spirits strong. I did not write this. It was done by Helen Steiner Rice. But it is so true. And as we depart today in safety until we meet again, I say all these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.